Hey guys, this is my video journal for Elliot, A Soldier's Fugue. So for question 1, something that I found interesting about the play was the structure and how we saw multiple characters, different views at once, and we also got to draw parallels between the different wars such as the Iraq, Vietnam, and Korean wars. We also got to see changes in music tastes such as the grandpa's love for the flute, the father's enjoyment with singing, and Elliot's love for hip-hop. And then values that are being presented in this play. We saw lust with Ginny having sexual nature and desires to her character. We could draw symbolism between her nurturing her plants in the garden to taking care of her family members. And then as a nurse during the Vietnam War, she also had sexual tension between herself and some of her patients. And then she met her future husband while serving in the Army Nurse Corps. And then freedom was also a large part of the play, as Pops and Elliot, they all embarked on this military journey, and although it was during different time periods, they each still had to overcome fear and find freedom on the other side. And then a word that I did not understand was raghead, which is actually an ethnic slur, so I feel kind of weird saying that, but for people, it's a slur for people who wear headdresses, which I believe kind of shows how ugly war is. Like, the soldiers are the ones using it, and the soldiers are also meant to be the heroes, but then they use things like slurs. And this reminds me of, I read The Things They Carried in junior year of high school by Tim O'Brien, and we see soldiers in the Vietnam War pillaging and raping citizens for really no good reason. I mean, kind of committing war crimes, and that's just the nature of war and what it does to people. And then question 4. The play reaffirmed the idea that the military kind of makes the United States a global superpower because of how strong we are, and then the play also hints at patriotism as viewed through the eyes of 3 generations. We see our soldiers viewed as heroes as Elliot goes to TV interviews and throws the first pitch in a baseball game, and then he also earns a Purple Heart for his time in Iraq. And then a fugue is a composition in which a melody or phrase is introduced by one part and successively taken up by others and developed into interweaving parts. All 3 men and Ginny tell similar stories, but each still has its own differences, and then when combined, their stories still make sense. So the playwright wants to show how war or history even repeats itself, even though technology changes, and how it's still painful to the people it affects. And then 2 questions I have are just, what are the biggest similarities and differences between Grandpops, Pops, and Elliot? And then how did this play alter or reinforce your perception of war? Thank you.